Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, welcome to the second Balkan Rhino Forum, Sinusitis, Skull Base and Rhinoplasty Symposium with fourth Symposium of Rhinology and Allergy Association of Serbia. This year, the main organizer of this international symposium is Rhinology and Allergy Association of Serbia as a part of the ENT section of the Serbian Medical Society. It's my pleasure to announce that for the first time in Serbia, organizer of is also European Rhinologic Society, which is our Congress is under the auspices of European Rhinologic Society. And our technical organizer is MedUp Society, the best organizer of medical events in Serbia. Rhinology and Allergy Association of Serbia is founded in 2015 as a part of the ENT section of the Serbian Medical Society. And the mission of the Rhinology and Allergy Association of Serbia is to serve, represent, and advance the science and clinical practice in the field of rhinology, to promote excellence in patients' care, research, and education in the fields of inflammatory nose and paranasal sinuses diseases, as well as in the fields of functional, reconstructive, and aesthetic surgery of the nose and endoscopic sinus surgery, and to provide communication and fellowship to the members of rhinological community. The aims of our organizing committee are to make the symposium open to all parts of the world, not only to participants from Balkan countries, and to keep the interest of young colleagues, residents, and young academicians in mind when designing the program, especially in the parts of our program with ERS junior members. Our scientific program consists of plenary sessions with invited speakers, e-poster sessions, and ERS junior member session. It's my pleasure to announce for the first time in Serbia ERS junior session how I do it with chairperson, my dear friend, Dr. Aleksandra Barać from Belgrade, from Clinical Center of Serbia, the best young scientist in the fields of medicine in Serbia, and with moderators Dr. Paul Surda from London, from United Kingdom, President of ERS Junior Member Board, and Dr. Puya Degani Mobaraki from Perugia, Italy, founder and president of Naso Sano, a non-profit association that provided award of the best junior abstract. First Balkan Rhino Forum was organized in 2017 in Skopje, in North Macedonia, under the auspices of European Rhinologic Society, very successfully by my dear friend, Professor Gabriela Kopacheva-Barsova from Skopje, and with very good cooperations of Professor Christos Georgalas and Yanis Konstantinidis from Greece, Professor Mark Scheithauer from Germany, Professor Cem Među from Turkey, and Professor Peter Valentin Tomažić from Graz, from Austria. And those are the pictures of this first Balkan Rhino Forum. I'd like to thank Gabriela Kopacheva-Barsova for organizing this very, very successful international symposium. This year, it's my pleasure to announce the participation of more than 200 people from 22 countries, invited speakers, e-poster speakers, and other participants from Albania, Austria, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Bulgaria, Croatia, Egypt, Finland, Germany, Greece, Italy, Latvia, Montenegro, North Macedonia, Palestine, Portugal, Romania, Russia, Serbia, Slovenia, the Netherlands, United Kingdom, and from the United States of America. It will be impossible to organize this big scientific congress without the financial support of our dear friends from the pharmaceutical companies. And this year, our golden sponsors are Galenica and Hemopharm. Our silver sponsors are Essenza, Life Medic, Emifarm, Octal Pharma, Ceomed, Milan, and Alpen Pharma Group. Our bronze sponsor is Amicus, and other sponsors are Alvogen, LRM, Sibexline, Uniform Medicom, and Bionorica. It's very important to present BRF International Scientific Committee. Professor Witge Fokkens from University Clinical Center in Amsterdam in Netherlands, Secretary General of the European Rhinologic Society, Editor-in-Chief of Journal Rhinology, and Associate Editor of Journal Allergy. Professor Sarah Weiss from Emory University in Atlanta in United States, first author of International Consensus Statement on Allergy and Rhinology with the main topic allergic rhinitis and other forms of chronic rhinitis. Professor Nicholas Busaba from Harvard Medical School, from Massachusetts, Boston, from the United States, very important researcher in the field of chronic rhinosinusitis, and especially in the different treatment modalities of chronic rhinosinusitis with and without nasal polyps. Professor John Del Gaudio from Emory University from Atlanta, USA, past president of the American Rhinology Society. Professor Sergei Karpischenko from St. Petersburg State Medical University from Russia and the organizer of the Rhinology World Congress in St. Petersburg in 2021. Professor Yanis Konstantinidis from Greece, from Thessaloniki, professor in the Aristotle University in Greece, and organizer of European Rhinologic Society Congress in Thessaloniki next year. Professor Christos Georgalas from Athens, from Greece, very important surgeon in the field of endoscopic sinus surgery and skull-base surgery. My dear friend, Gabriela Kopacheva-Barsova, from University Clinical Campus St. Mother Teresa of Skopje, North Macedonia. Professor Mark Scheithauer from Ulm, Germany, very important surgeon in the field of aesthetic and functional surgery of the nose. Professor Rajko Jovic, president of ENT section of the Serbian Medical Society. My dear friend, Professor Livije Kalođera from University Hospital Sestre Milosrdnice from Zagreb, from Croatia, very important researcher in the field of rhinology and allergy, not only in Croatia and Europe, but also in the world. My dear friend, Professor Tomislav Boduen from the same hospital, Zagreb, Croatia, president of Croatian Rhinologic Society. And it's very important to note from 2010 to 2018, Professor Boduen organized 5 very, very successful, excellent congresses in the field of rhinology. And the communication of Rhinology and Allergy Association of Serbia is just the best with the Croatian Rhinological Society. And my friend, Professor Diljana Vičeva from Medical University of Plovdiv in Bulgaria. I am Aleksandar Perić from the Military Medical Academy and president of Rhinology and Allergy Association of Serbia. My dear friend Ljiljana Jovančević from Clinical Center of Vojvodina, ENT Clinic, and she is secretary of the Rhinology and Allergy Association of Serbia, secretary of ENT section of the Serbian Medical Society, and Serbian representative and in advisory board of the European Rhinology Society. And my dear friend, Dr. Aleksandra Barać from Clinical Center of Serbia, Vice President of ERS Junior Member Board. Our invited speakers are really excellent this year. Professor Nicholas Busaba, Yanis Konstantinidis, John Del Gaudio, Vicge Fokens, Christos Georgalas, Rajko Jovic, Sergei Karpischenko, Gabriela Kopacheva-Barsova, Mark Scheithauer, and Sarah Weiss. And those are the executive invited speakers. Our international speakers in alphabetical order are Aleksandra Aleksić from Clinical Center of Banja Luka, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Aleksandra Barać, Clinical Center of Serbia, Tomislav Boduen from Zagreb, Croatia, Maja Bulčić-Čupić from Novi Sad, Serbia, Francesco Busu from Sassari, Italy, Ljiljana Čvorović from Clinical Center of Serbia, Puja Degani Mobaraki from Perugia, Italy, Jetmira Feyza Bulaj from Tirana, Albania, Boris Jelavić from Mostar, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Ljiljana Jovančević from Novi Sad, Serbia, Livije Kalođera from Zagreb, Croatia, Vladimir Kljajić from Novi Sad, Serbia, Milica Labus from Belgrade, Serbia, Bošćan Lališnik from Slovenija, from Maribor, Milanko Milović from Belgrade, Serbia, Katerina Mitrović from Podgorica, Montenegro, Jane Netkovski from North Macedonia, from Skopje, Ivana Pajić-Matić from Slavonski Brod, Croatia, it's me, Aleksandar Perić from Belgrade, Serbia, Snežana Sanković-Babić from Belgrade, Serbia, Slobodan Savović, Novi Sad, Serbia, Roven Sinani, Tirana, Albanija, Tanja Soklić-Košak, Slovenia, Ljubljana, Milan Stankovic from Niš, Serbia, Paul Surda from London, United Kingdom, Timoleon Terzis from Athens, Greece, Aleksandar Trivić from Clinical Center of Serbia, and Professor Diljana Vičeva from Plovdiv from Bulgaria. Finally, I'd like to present our BRF organizing committee. My dear friend Ljiljana Jovančević, I'd like to thank Ljiljana for her kind support during the preparation of our scientific program. Professor Rajko Jović from Clinical Center of Vojvodina, I'd like to thank Professor Rajko Jović for her kind support from the first time after we organized the Rhinology and Allergy Association of Serbia in 2015. Aleksandra Barać from Clinical Center of Serbia for her kind support in communication with ERS Junior Member Board. My dear friend Dr. Jelena Sotirović from my clinic, due to the very good communication with invited speakers. Uglješa Grgurević from my clinic and president of MedUp Society, the best organizer of medical events in Serbia, and Bojana Petaković from MedUp Society. I wish all very good stay in Belgrade during the BRF Belgrade, and I'd like to call Professor Vidge Fokens, Secretary General of the European Rhinology Society, to greet this symposium. Thank you very much.
It's a real pleasure to be here as invited speaker, but also a little bit on behalf of the European Rhinologic Society. And Alexander was so kind to give me the opportunity to advertise a little bit for the European Rhinologic Society. I think it's very, very important that so many people from the Balkan area are together here, because you are the future of Europe, and you have to be a very important scientific new part of Europe. And you have some very smart young people sitting here in the audience who will make that happen. And I really hope that the European Rhinologic Society can support you to do that. What is the society doing? Well, as you notice, we inform you with newsletters and website, and the junior members are very active on Facebook. I left that when my kids kicked me out 20 years, defriended me 20 years ago, but I know what it is. We have Twitter and Instagram. Every year we award 5 fellowships for people usually in countries that cannot so easily afford it to attend a course somewhere in Europe. And you can find the course you want to go to and apply for that. Every 2 years we have 20 to 40 travel grants to visit the ERS Congress for junior members. And every 2 years we have 2 research prizes for the best clinical and the best basic paper. It is difficult to get the best papers for people to really send them in. So if you're here and you think you have a good paper, send it in, then we can award you a prize. If you don't send it in, that's very difficult. We try to lobby at the EU level for better care for our patients. For example, now we're very active in trying to get monoclonal antibodies like anti-IL-4 and IL-5 admitted into Europe also for nasal polyps, not only for severe asthma. We publish 2 journals. Rhinology and Rhinology Online. I just said to Sergei that being an editor-in-chief of Rhinology is not always fun. We have an acceptance rate of 13%, and that is a very frustrating business because 87% of the authors who send the paper come later and say, I'm so sorry, I sent my best work to you and you didn't take it. So to make that a little bit easier. We decided this year to move to 6 issues a year instead of 4. And hopefully that will give a little bit space. But what gives much more space is the start of the new journal, Rhinology Online. It's open access, and we have 2 goals. And one goal is to help authors to make their paper better. So we really spend a lot of time on reviewing and increasing quality of papers, and all that within 2 weeks. So we really promise, if you send your paper in, you have it back in a week. If you send it in again for revision, you have it back in a week again. It's a lot of work, but I think it's worth it. Then we organize and fund positions papers. You find them in Rhinology as supplements, olfactory one from last year, the new EPOS next year, and of course we have our biennial congress. For all this work, it's very important to have members, not only members that pay a little bit, it's very cheap to be a member, but also members that work for ERS. So I would like to ask you all, please become member of the ERS and become an active member and help us to fulfill and do all the things we can do. Here in Serbia, Professor Ljiljana Jovančević is the delegate, so she can give you more information. But if you want to know something, you can always ask me too. And finally, of course, next year we will have the new ERS Congress in Greece, in Thessaloniki, and I hope that I see all 200 people now in this audience there again. Thank you very much.
Dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, you believe me that this Rhino Forum, this meeting is a great event for our Serbian Rhinological Society. As the president of the Serbian ENT Society, I would like to inform you that we have 560 members and that we are organized so that we have 7 small associations, and one of them is this Rhinological Association. They are a small group, but as you see, they are very active. They are youngest in our association, and I really want to say thank you, Alexander, because you had the courage to organize such a nice meeting in Belgrade, in Serbia. I think last 20 years, that is the second international meeting in our country. Thank you for that, exactly to you. I know that there is very distinguished guests, and thank you for your coming. Your coming, your arrival, improved me that you really respect our Rhinological Association. This meeting is the way how we will, I'm sure, rise our everyday work, but also I'm sure that we will rise the respect of our Rhinological Association in the international association. Well, now I know that there is somebody from the European board, and I like to take the nice impression and to transfer that to the board and to give a chance to this group to organize something on high level. European Congress, for example, Rhinological Congress, that's my wish. Well, really enjoyed in this meeting, not only in the lecture, which you will be able to hear, but also in the whole events, because I'm sure that Assistant Professor Alexander Perić gave his best to present you his hospitality and his warm heart. Thank you and enjoy this meeting.
Poštovane koleginice I kolege, dear ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, dear friends. Welcome to Serbia once again, welcome to Belgrade. Thank you all for coming. When we talked about this event 2 years ago, it didn't sound like it will be possible to see you all here. And now, as you can see my face, I'm really happy, because I really am. Thank you, thank you, thank you for helping us organizing this wonderful meeting and making it scientifically so strong. Since I am the representative of Serbia in the ERS, I allow myself to present a few slides. But before that, I forgot to thank Alexander because, yes, I've been helpful, but most of the work was done by him. So thank you, Alexander, for bringing us all together, and we wish us all a successful meeting. So about European Rhinologic Society, as you know, was founded in 1963. Please help me, Professor Fawkins, about the pronunciation. Van Dishoek. So you see the previous congresses that took place from 1984 in Nancy to 2018 in London, England, organized and being president by Sean Carey. Now Secretary General of the ERS is Professor Fawkins, and we are really honored to have her here. Thank you so much for supporting us. And the president of the European Rhinologic Society is now Professor Sean Carey from United Kingdom. Now I wanted you to see him also. Then we have the Juniors Society. Professor Pavel Surda is here. I don't think that he's here in the room, but he's one of the faculty members, so you will be able to meet him. He's the president of the Juniors Society, and something that we are so proud of, that is Professor Alexandra Barać, who used to be the president of Juniors, and she's very helpful, as Professor Fawkins knows, in the ERS. And thank you so much, Alexandra, for being our friend, our colleague, and thank you so that we can be so proud of you. Now there's one interesting thing that appeared, I think, this year, that you as an ERS member can also become a member of the American Rhinologic Society for a reduced price, that is $50, just a membership, or $80 including subscription to the International Forum of Allergy and Rhinology. You've heard about Rhinology. Now it's the 56th year that Rhinology Journal is being published. It's an official journal of the ERS and the International Rhinologic Society, and its impact factor is 2.9, which is absolutely unbelievable for an ENT journal, so that you know that it's really something. It's M21. It is being published 6 times a year. The last Congress took place in London in 2018. We had more than 1,800 delegates from 86 countries. It was a wonderful meeting. The next one, as you've heard, will be in Thessaloniki, so I will also like to invite you to Thessaloniki. And after 2020, we will have a meeting in 2022 in Bulgaria, in Sofia. So you are also invited to join us in Bulgaria in 2022. Now something we have to say, that a very sad thing happened last year, something that none of us expected, which is that Professor Heinz Stamberger passed away. It happened in December last year, as you know. And I think there are absolutely no way to say how to pay tribute to Professor Heinz Stamberger. I think it's really impossible. So I decided to read a few lines to you from obituary written by Professor Valerie Land. She's the first lady of rhinology, so she wrote very nice words, and I would like to share these words once again with you. It seems almost unbelievable to be writing about the loss of Heinz, who passed away completely unexpectedly on the 9th of December 2018. Heinz was influenced so many careers that, like many of you reading this, it is hard to express how shocked I am by this sudden loss. To say that he had a major impact on ENT and specifically on rhinology would be a huge understatement. Without his supreme surgical skill, endless enthusiasm, and superlative linguistic skills, chronic rhinosinusitis would have likely remained an unattractive clinical backwater, and endoscopic sinus surgery would not have taken the world by storm. He was an indefatigable teacher, running hundreds of dissection courses and lecturing throughout the world from the early 80s right up to the last weeks. He was president of innumerable international congresses and societies, was a founder of the Society of Minimally Invasive Therapy, and his FES courses run in German and English each year in his department in Graz, Austria, were the go-to destinations for endoscopic endonasal techniques. He published widely, and his first textbook, Functional Endoscopic Sinus Surgery, in 1991 was the Bible for this technique. He was personally responsible for the introduction of extended endoscopic style-based surgery and many of the innovations that accompanied from fusion imaging to instrumentation and packing. Heinz was a true pioneer who was continually looking for new ways to enhance our knowledge and disease management. But as you all know, Heinz was much more than an inspirational doctor, surgeon, and rhinologist. He was a true Renaissance man, interested in everything from prehistoric rock art and archaeology to all aspects of the natural world, from geology to gastronomy, from philosophy to photography, from diving to deserts. He traveled to every continent, often with his lovely wife Dolores, who shared his many interests. He was the perfect companion in so many meetings in far-flung parts of the world, displaying a wonderful, subtle sense of humor when things did not always go according to plan. He was simply one of the most interesting people I have known and who I have been deeply privileged to call my friend. So I was thinking how to pay tribute. I mean, every time each and every one of us takes the endoscope into your hands, we are actually paying tribute to Heinz Schamberger. So and I can just say goodbye, dear teacher, and goodbye, dear friend. We will all miss you very much.